Hey everyone, this is tomorrow's trade with Cody. Sorry it's so late tonight. We're going to try to do it a lot earlier than it was tonight, but I had to figure it all out. So this is the new age of trading. We're going to be prepared. We're going to watch technicals here for you. We're going to watch fundamentals. We're going to try to give you the best idea of what tomorrow's trade is going to look like. Alright, we're sitting here. We're looking at how cash is king, and we're looking at how investors are sitting in half cash and half basically their assets, homes or stocks and bonds. So we're going to look at the institutions as well. They're sitting on record amounts of cash. They're going to invest soon, and once they start investing, then they're going to also probably going to need to borrow, and the banks are going to then start making money. Well, interest rates are then going to rise, folks, and because the government's going to want some too. Harry Reid extended that tax, or is talking about extending that tax credit, sorry about that, till September for houses. People have money now to spend on houses. Well, and so do a lot of the new home buyers. They'll need that tax credit. That'll help a lot with the lowest ever mortgage rates right now. That's got to be a great buy. Well, that sounds like great news right now. What about some bad news though, folks? We've got some bad news with the government messing with BP, and it's this oil spill. We've got a large mess here. It's hurting the euro. I believe that it's taken down the euro way further than it should have. But I guess the exposure in the UK has greatly affected, and that hurts the euro as people are having to sell maybe on margin, or if they were leveraging, they were now having to sell because of the large decline in their pension funds BP shares. I'm not sure exactly, but in the oil spill, they have to give the investors the dividend. The government has to. The Obama and Ken Salazar, they need to make it a point to say that BP will still be able to give their dividend to their shareholders, because of the fact that if any more of those shareholders leave, that's gonna just drop the euro a lot more. And the high correlation between the stock market and the euro is driving the market up and down. Any good news, bad news about BP or Europe hurts this market, and ultimately is going to hurt them in voting, and they need to realize that. So as soon as they realize that and they get this market going back up like they should be, they'll start to be on the right side of the people. And so we've got another news update here. We've got China's increased their industrial production. Their CPI number is at 3%, exactly what their government predicted a year ago. Wow, folks, that's got to be great for them. They're just, they're controlling what they're doing perfectly. They're making it stable, sustainable, and their people are happy with it. Their people are excited that they get to enjoy what they do, and I hope we haven't lost that here in the U.S. And we've got tomorrow's trade coming up here. Because of all that, we're gonna have probably a little bit of an I'd say an up morning. Something's gonna happen though. I'm feeling that we're gonna pull back and either end up probably just barely up or just barely down, probably pretty even finishing up for the week. So that's what I'm thinking tomorrow's trade's gonna be. The positions that we're holding tomorrow are Caterpillar long. We love their Chinese exposure and their other emerging markets. We got FCX gold, in copper. We love their South America, China, Indonesian exposure, emerging markets. We love those emerging market stocks. We love ARCC's dividend that you'll need to own tomorrow at the end of the trading day to get that. It's a pretty high dividend. It's about 11%. So we got that coming in tomorrow. We got potash out of Canada. You know, they're the largest fertilizer, best of breed, very good company. And I'd love to meet the CEO someday of potash. So we also got U.S. Steel. We've got U.S. Steel. We're hoping that, you know, the safety thing with this oil spill, back to the oil spill, I think that they just need to put in place some safety measures that, you know, have those second wells already drilled before before you start, even, you know, before you puncture totally through. Make sure that you got the backup well right there, and that's got to be the solution. We got to make sure that we're a safe country. We got to make sure that we can keep moving forward. We got to make sure that someone steps forward and makes this transition in our world. So that's tomorrow's trade with Cody. Talk to you tomorrow. Everyone have a good night, and thanks for watching.